Let's finish up the loop here by making the rest of the post dynamic. Most of the functions I'm going to introduce here can be found on the template tags codex page. We're going to start from the top and work our way down. First up is the date. We're going to call a function called the_time. This function has one parameter which is optional, and that's the format. In the resources section of this lecture, I provide a link to WordPress's date format. As you can see, WordPress is pretty flexible with the time we can use. If we don't pass in a time, WordPress will just use the default format provided by the user in their settings. I'm going to pass in the format DM. Next up is the post title. The function we use here is pretty straightforward. We're going to call the_title function. Keep in mind that these functions output the data for us, so we don't have to echo out anything. Of course, our readers won't be able to read our post if the links don't work. In our post, we have two places where users can click to read more. Let's replace these links by calling the function the_permalink. As you can already tell, we're just calling a bunch of functions that WordPress will take care of replacing. WordPress takes care of everything from pagination to querying the database to looping through everything. All we have to do is instruct it where we want to place the data. Alright, let's keep moving. Up next is the time posted. Can you guess which function we'll be using? You guessed it, the_time function. This time we're going to use a different format, G:_IA. Now it's time for the categories. As you may have guessed, the function we'll be using is called the_category. Despite its name, this function will display multiple categories. By default, if we have multiple categories, WordPress will use an unordered list, but we don't want that. So we can pass in a separator. Let's keep it simple by separating multiple categories by commas. This will also generate links to those categories for us. We're almost done. Now it's time to display the author along with a link to the author. We'll be using two functions called theAuthor and theAuthorLink. Let's use those functions now. Lastly, we need to display the excerpt. The function we'll be using this time is called theExcerpt. Replace this block of text with that function. Let's refresh our page and see our dynamic posts. As expected, everything works. Well, almost perfectly. If we take a look at some of these posts, we see these square brackets with dots inside. I prefer to just have dots and no square brackets. We'll fix this soon with something called filters. However, in the next lecture, we'll be focusing on pagination.